Hi again, it is Krystalracquel. I'm back again. I am here to talk about an interesting topic. So one of the things that have become more common is doing online dating. Um, and with online dating, oftentimes a woman will come across a man who wants to FaceTime before the first date. So with normal dating, a man would typically meet you out and about, maybe at the mall or at church, maybe, or, just while you're, like I said, out and about, grocery shopping, or wherever a man would approach you, pretty much anywhere that you go about doing things in your life. So, now, because online dating is more common, and we have made a lot of technological advancements, women are gonna come across men who are gonna reach out and ask to FaceTime with you before the date. So I want to talk about why a woman should never FaceTime a man before a date. Just keep in mind, as the woman, you are a gift to a man. You bring a lot to a man, and when a man finds you and wants to marry you, you're gonna help him in his life. Oftentimes men um, improve a lot financially, and even with just who they are once they get married, because that woman's there to help them and really push them forward in a lot of ways. That's just how it happens, how it works. I always have to show my ring. But when it comes to FaceTiming before a date, so of course, a man, he didn't see you in person yet, and now he might have some hesitations, or he just wants to make sure you're who you say you are, right? Well, no. A lot of times when a man reaches out and they want to FaceTime or see you on video before a date, it's really not a good thing, and I'm going to explain why. One, you have your pictures up there, right? So I recommend you don't put any filters on your pictures. You should be presenting yourself as you would on a first date. So, if you can have makeup on, that's no problem. You don't have to have any pictures without makeup. That's okay. Like, if you're a girly girl, you always wear makeup when you go out. When you meet someone, have your makeup on. That's no problem. No filters, because that's not how you're gonna look when you see him in person. So do not put filters on your pictures. And having your pictures up there should be good enough. If there's an app that allows you to put like a little clip of like you doing something fun, like 2 seconds or something, you can. I don't say I'm recommending it, but if that's something that you want to do, like just to have like a live picture or live something of you, depending on what dating app you're using, that is completely fine. However, you do not want to FaceTime before your first date, because what you do before the first date is really going to be setting you up in terms of how the dating goes moving forward. So I'm not going to focus so much on the man, but I want to focus on you and what you're trying to get out of this experience. So you want to go on a first date, you want to get to know someone, and really when a man is offering you a first date, what he's saying is, I want to go out with you. I'm going to purchase your dinner to make it worth your while. I would like to get to know you and see where it goes. If you're going to do the FaceTime with him, just know, one, it might make it less likely for him to take you on a date soon. And that may become the expectation. So normally, if you're going to do a FaceTime with someone you haven't met, of course you're going to put your makeup on. To me, that's ridiculous. Putting on makeup to go on a FaceTime to meet someone, that's really taking away that first date experience, and that's not what we want. So definitely do not FaceTime before the first date. That's almost like you're giving him a preview. You're giving him a first date before the actual date. For him to get to know you, he needs to take you out. You need to go out on a dinner, or like a lunch, whatever you prefer, what you both decide. But not getting to see you on FaceTime, because that's going to be the first date. He's going to be looking at you, asking you a lot of those first date questions. And for sure, you should definitely have conversations before the first date, but you want to keep it limited. You haven't met this person in person yet, so you want to make sure that you're not falling for them too much. So definitely you want to have some conversations. I recommend at least having 2 substantial conversations, maybe 30 minutes or longer, like 30-minute conversations, at least 2 of those, or it can be an hour. That's no problem. And he should really ask you on a date within those conversations. He shouldn't be asking you on a date through text messaging. Of course, if you're talking on an app and he says he wants to get to know you, he wants to, talk to you and eventually take you out, that's okay. What should typically happen is you should have a couple written communications through the text app, and eventually after a couple conversations there, he should be asking for your phone number. If you should have been able to kind of gauge what the type of character he has by those written communications first, okay? So if you're unsure about him, you feel like you haven't really gotten much from him, you haven't talked a lot through those communications, and when I say gauging him, I mean making sure he's not someone who is trying to reach out to you for something sexual, trying to see if there's anything like a little off that comes up when you're communicating with him. And if that doesn't come up, then okay, you exchange numbers. Then from there, he should be arranging a phone call with you. When he gets your number, he can text you and be like, hey, like, when's a good time to talk? I want to have a conversation with you. That is fine. If he just starts texting you nonstop and doesn't arrange a call, right there, that's probably not someone you're going to want to go on a date with. And you don't need to be telling him, when are you gonna call me? Like, you don't have to go into depth and like try to train him in terms of how he needs to communicate with you. Absolutely not. And then from there, you can have a couple conversations through phone. If he starts asking you to FaceTime, it's not a bad thing if he asks. That means that could be a good sign in some ways, but you should absolutely refuse in a kind way. One thing that I would say is, well, for me, it takes out the fun of getting to know someone on the first date. That's not something I do. Also, on your pictures, I always put how recent my pictures were. I made sure all my pictures were recent. I would say, let's say I joined a dating site in like March, I would have uploaded pictures all from like all from like January, February, and I would have written that February 2022 or whatever it was. That's super important. Let them know you're being as real as possible. If they don't want to believe that that's there, then they probably shouldn't. If they don't want to believe that those are real pictures, then you've put the dates and everything, okay, that's on them. They shouldn't be on online dating then. Okay, so if they say something like, well, I just want to make sure that you're who you say you are. You say, well, all my pictures are recent. All my pictures are from February or from a month ago. That's, they're all recent. If from there they say, well, I still want to FaceTime, you've already said it once, you can say it a second time. But if they do it again, you don't want to communicate with that person anymore nicely. Just say, yeah, well, that's not something I do, so I'm not going to, but I totally understand that that's something that you want, but I just don't do that. I don't feel comfortable. And that should be the end of it. They'll either move forward with you or you guys can just end it there. One other reason why you don't want to FaceTime before a first date is pretty much you're training that man. So I already said, there's no reason for you to get on there. You're having to do all your makeup and things like that, but you're also training him. So a lot of times as women, we make things so easy for men, and that's not what it's supposed to be about. A man is built to take risks. A man goes after what he wants. He goes after the chase. And that's like pleasurable for a man. A man loves to like win and to go out and conquer. So if a lot of women are making it so easy for men, if you say, hey, that's not something I really do. Like, I get it, but I'm not really interested in doing that. I like to go on a first date and then we go from there. That's going to be a little bit different for him. He might say, huh, okay. Or it might make him want to see you even more. Like, okay, like everybody else has done the FaceTime with me, but she won't do it. Is she a scam? But no, she's probably not a scam. That's kind of cool that she's not doing that. Like I want to get to know her. And then that also shows that you are giving your time that you're not giving your time to people who haven't shown that they're worth your time. So like I said at the beginning, when a man asks a girl out for a date or a woman out for a date, he's essentially saying, hey, to make it worth your while, I'm going to be purchasing your meal for you, and please give me the opportunity to talk to you and go on a date with you and move from there. So if you're going on FaceTime with him, it's like you're giving him your time, you're giving him all of your energy without him having done anything for you. That's not what we want. As women, you have a lot of value. And of course, the man is valuable. But back in the day, like when you're in a two-parent household, like your father was taking care of your mother, taking care of all of his children, including you. And from there, the only reason you would move off and get married is if a man proved that he can take care of you as well as your father did or better. So you want to just make sure that you're not giving too much of yourself too soon. And that includes like, hey, and it's not in a bad way. This is just the way things are and the way it should be. Like, hey, what are you going to do for me? You want to spend time with me? I know I'm a great catch. I know I'm a good woman. And I know by you finding a wife, it's a good thing. So I know I'm ready to be a wife. So show me that you're going to take care of me. And even just purchasing that meal, that's the start of that. It's not something huge and significant, but he's being a gentleman. Do not get on FaceTime with a man before he's taking you on a date. And I don't even recommend FaceTiming unless that person's you're in a relationship with him. It's just by doing that, what you're doing is he's going to not want to take you on dates. He's going to want to call you, look at you through FaceTime. That's going to be a date for him. He's getting the same type of interaction that he would get with you if he was taking you on a date. So no. That's like the main thing. If you FaceTime with him, just know you going on a weekly date is most likely not going to happen. One of the things that I did when I was dating a couple people, I'll make sure I talk to you about that as well. When I was dating a few people at once, there were a few people who asked to FaceTime me, and each time I would say, oh no, I don't do that. That takes away the dating experience for me. And they understood. One person said, well, I just want you to know that I'm real. That actually made me suspicious. But yeah, even if they say that to you, don't want to do, I don't recommend it. But yeah, just moving forward, do not FaceTime. These are the main takeaways. Do not FaceTime before a date. Do not FaceTime with anyone if they're not your boyfriend, fiance, anything like that. Even I don't really believe fully in boyfriends. And the main reason why I don't want to don't FaceTime before a first date, because that will make them less likely to take you out on a first date, or it may take a while before they do. They want to continue to communicate in that fashion. It's also taking away your value. They're used to women who are constantly FaceTiming with them automatically. And after the first date, if you do FaceTime, that's going to make them less likely to take you out on other dates. So you're most likely not going to be getting at least a weekly date outing with them. But yeah, those are the main key takeaways I wanted you to just know. Even though in this day and age, a lot of people are FaceTiming, and that's a great technological advancement. It doesn't mean that you should bring that into the dating world. You have a lot of value as a woman, and it's going to be difficult for a man to see that in you if you're just always as beck and call, and that you're not standing in who you are, you're not understanding your value and respecting yourself. So just really think about it. Is it really worth it to put your whole makeup on, get your hair done, put on a cute outfit, and talk to someone live on FaceTime with them asking you all those dating questions when they haven't done anything for you? They haven't even given the gesture just to purchase a meal for you. Does that make sense? Absolutely not. So do not FaceTime with a man before the first date if you're meeting them online, or if you're not in a committed relationship. Do not do that. Okay? I love you all. Thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to send them into the email I have below in the description section. I would like to start answering a lot of your questions and making videos about them. Thank you, everyone. Bye.